everyone, this is Tai Chi Susan, and today I thought I'd give you a tutorial on how to ride the one wheel for absolute beginners. There's a lot of tutorials out there for how to ride the one wheel, but I thought there was a need for people like me that don't have a whole lot of experience with board sports and maybe don't really fit within the normal category of one-wheelers. So I thought I'd give you a real basic tutorial on how to ride and how to start riding your new one wheel safely and having loads of fun. So let's get started. The first thing is just having the right protective gear. I know you might think you don't need it, but it's really important. And one really wise person told me to get the gear before I got the one wheel. And man, that was great advice, because if I had had the one wheel beforehand, I surely would have jumped on it without the gear. So go get it now. And at the very minimum, you need a helmet, and highly recommend wrist guards. Okay, I think also it's really important to have realistic expectations, so just take a little pressure off of yourself. Know that in time you're going to be able to do this and master this and have a great time, but just to start out, just dial it back and realize that there's a learning curve here. So you're not going to look like this guy. You're more likely going to look like this. The next thing you need to know about is that it does work off an app, so make sure that you've downloaded the app. Now, you load that on your phone and you look for your board and get it connected. That's pretty straightforward. The one thing that I wasn't told that I did, and it kind of messed things up, was I turned on the board incorrectly. So I thought, hey man, I don't want to lean down that far. And I just lifted it up like this and pushed the button. No, because it won't connect and it'll screw things up. So the proper way to turn on your one wheel is to have it in position, and you don't want to touch the sensors, because if you're touching the sensors while you push the button on, that'll also give you an error. So you just want to reach around and don't touch anything except the button, and then everything will be happy. So you've turned your board on, you've got your app on, and then you've got these nifty little pictures here at the bottom. And what they're telling you is different riding settings. So you want to make sure that when you swipe it, you can see the word activated, that it's indeed changing, and these are all different settings. So maybe when you're starting out, you might want to start on a little less aggressive setting. There's lots of opinions about this, the Sequoia or the Cruise. I personally had somebody help me, and he gave me great advice, and we did a custom setting, and I'll tell you why. We have custom setting. It was all the way at the end. It'll say custom here instead of high speed. And you just tap those two, that little bar graph. And the one that I want you to change is this carvability, because that controls the ankle. And you'll find that you're really wobbly when you first start. So if you want to tighten that up, just put it all the way up to number 5, which won't be what you're seeing here. Really helped me to feel like I had more control at the very beginning of my learning curve. Okay, so. All right, so if you're not familiar with the one wheel, it looks kind of strange to somebody who's not actually seen it. I remember the first time I saw it, I just knew it was really cool, but I didn't get it, okay? So what you need to know is that the end that's up is the front of the board. The battery's in the back, so it's always going to sink down. So if you are confused and you don't know which way is the front, it's the one that's sitting up high. Okay, the other thing is you have a sensor on the front. And there's two parts. Your foot will cover both parts of the sensor, and both parts have to be touched or depressed at the same time in order to activate the board. Okay, just put a ball in front of you and kick that ball. And that's your dominant foot. And the theory is you're supposed to put your dominant foot in the back. So this is the back. If I kick the ball with my right foot, then that means my right foot is going to go on the back. And you're a standard rider. If that feels really weird, like it does for me, I have to have my right foot in front. And this is called goofy foot. And if you're goofy foot, it's okay. I think just beautiful, smooth sidewalk is really the best place to start learning, because grass might have some variables that you're not expecting, and you want something that is consistent and predictable. When you first get on the board, the way I learned and the way I highly recommend it is that you've got somebody with you and they're walking next to you and you're holding on to their arm. Well, for logistics of videoing, we're going to have my pretend friend here. So meet George, he's my pretend friend. And I'm really nervous, but he's nice, he's got his arm right here. The first thing you want to do is you put your back foot on the back, and you know where the back is now. And you get yourself sort of centered, you hold on to George's arm here, and you're going to just bring your weight over a little bit until it locks into place. And then your ankles are going to wobble all over the place. That's why we changed the carvability. And then George is going to start walking, and you're just going to kind of hold on, and you can shift your weight very, very slightly forward, and that's going to make you move forward just like magic. And then you're going to freak out, and you're going to want to know, oh my gosh, how to stop. And we need to cover that next. Then the very next thing you need to learn is how to stop. And I recommend that you practice that over and over and over and over again. Because when you have confidence on how to stop, then you're not going to be afraid to go. And George can still be here, but you're just going to go a little bit, stop, go a little bit, stop, go a little bit, and stop. And remember that we have the two sensors here. So in order for it to activate, my foot has to be covering both sensors. If I want to deactivate, and that meaning like stopping the board, then I simply lift my heel off the sensor. Or you can think about pressing your knee forward. Some people find that a little bit easier. Now, it sounds easy, it's a little counterintuitive when you're on the board and moving. What you definitely don't want to do is take your back foot off first, because the board will keep going and you're not going with it. You're going down. All right, so we're going to practice stopping. I've got my friend here holding on to his arm. I shift my weight over until it engages, and then I'm going just a little bit, and then I need to stop. Now, as soon as you slow down, you want to try to get that knee forward and lift your heel and stop. Then we're going to try it again, and we're just going to go, and lift my heel and stop. Now, you want to be pretty proactive about it. So if I go, and then I stop and I just feel stuck, I'm just going to get more and more wobbly, and the chances of falling are higher. Okay? So you want to go, and then as soon as you feel your stop, lift that heel. Now, there's one other way that you can try, and that's just simply jumping off of it, and you want to jump off with both feet at the same time. And to me, that takes a little bit more skill and a little bit more courage. So I would suggest just practicing that traditional stop. Lift that heel up as soon as you slow down. So just as you practiced how to dismount, you want to practice controlling your speed, and you want to stay ahead all the time. So anytime you start to feel uncomfortable, or you feel a little tense, or you feel like, uh-oh, all you have to do is slow down. And it just doesn't come to you intuitively. You have to practice that. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll pick a landmark, and I'll just practice, okay, I want to stop right there. And so just... In general, people have a misconception that you should have a nice big wide stance. That would make sense because you think you have more stability. But this is a little bit different, the way this is designed, and you want to really try to have this front foot a little bit closer in, especially when you're starting out. It provides a little bit more control and stability for you. And one more little valuable tip is, where do you put your phone? You need it because you have an app, right? And it's connected. One place not to put it is in your right back pocket. And the reason is if you do fall, you're probably going to fall on your right hip. And you know, you're already going to be hurting enough. You don't need a shattered phone. So get in the habit of putting that phone somewhere else, either here or, if you can, maybe in your left pocket instead. All right, so there you have it. A nice little tutorial on how to ride the OneWheel for absolute beginners. And the main thing is just enjoy it. Don't pressure yourself. It's just a fabulous thing. It's going to change your life, and you're going to have a blast.